You might have Irish roots through a parent, grandparent, or even great-grandparent, and as of 2025, the pathway to Irish citizenship by descent remains open through the Foreign Births Register, or FBR, managed by Ireland's Department of Foreign Affairs. This register allows people born outside Ireland to claim citizenship based on ancestry without needing to live in Ireland, learn Gaelic, or pass any exams. Unlike some time-limited programs in other countries, Spain is closing the loop right now, but the FBR has no expiration date. It's a permanent option under the Irish Nationality and Citizenship Act of 1956 and subsequent amendments, including the 2004 changes from the 27th Amendment to the Constitution. However, processing times are currently around 9 months, so if you're an expecting parent relying on this information for your child's eligibility, start now to avoid complications. Claiming Irish citizenship grants you an EU passport, ranking among the top 5 globally for travel freedom, with visa-free access to over 190 countries, the right to live and work in anywhere of the EU plus the EEA, and access to Ireland's healthcare and social welfare systems if you relocate, and the ability to vote in Irish elections. You can also pass citizenship automatically to your future children, providing you register before their birth. Everything is about registering the births in the right order. Dual citizenship is fully permitted. Ireland doesn't require renunciation of other nationalities, though check your home country's rules. Irish citizenship by descent is governed by the principles of jus sanguinis, or right of blood, rather than jus soli, birth on soil, which was actually restricted back in 2005. If you were born outside Ireland, you're not automatically Irish unless one parent was an Irish citizen born in Ireland at your birth. Otherwise, registration via the FBR is required to activate your claim. Let's detail the eligibility categories based on your ancestral link. First, if one of your parents was an Irish citizen at the time of your birth, even if they weren't born in Ireland themselves, meaning they acquired citizenship through the FBR, naturalization, or descent, you qualify for registration. This makes you a citizen from the date of entry on the register, not retroactively from birth, unless your parent was born abroad in Irish public service, like diplomatic roles, at your birth. For example, if your parent registered on the FBR before you're born, you're eligible as their child. Second, if neither parent was Irish at your birth, but one grandparent was born on the island of Ireland, meaning the Republic or Northern Ireland, you can apply directly through the grandparent. The grandparent's birth in Ireland establishes the chain, regardless of when they emigrated or if they naturalized elsewhere. No proof of the grandparent's Irish citizenship is needed beyond their birth record, as birth on the island before 2005 generally confers it automatically. Third, for great-grandchildren, if your great-grandparent was born in Ireland, but the intervening generations, meaning your grandparents and parents, weren't registered as Irish before your birth, you don't qualify directly. However, if your parent, the grandchild of the Irish-born person, registered on the FBR before you were born, then you can apply as their child. This creates a generational chain where each link must be registered in time. Miss one and the chain breaks for descendants. There's no strict generational limit beyond this. In theory, it could be unlimited generations. Further descendants could qualify even if every prior generation registers pre-birth, but in practice, it's limited to 3 generations without additional steps. But as long as you keep registering in the FBR, you can theoretically go unlimited generations into the future, which is pretty cool. So you get it now, your kids will be able to get it, their kids will be able to get it, as long as everybody keeps registering in the FBR within the right time frame. Exceptions do exist. If your Irish ancestor was adopted, or if there are complex family situations like posthumous births, you may still qualify with supporting evidence. Citizenship isn't available based on more distant relatives like aunts, uncles, or cousins. It must be a direct parental or grandparental line. If your connection is through Irish associations, such as blood ties without direct descent, you can apply for discretionary citizenship under Section 16 of the 1956 Act. But that's separate from the FBR, processed by the Minister of Justice, and takes over 30 months currently with no guaranteed approval. For descent cases, the FBR is the standard route. Eligibility isn't restricted by your current age, residence, or nationality. You can apply from anywhere in the world, and minors under 18 can be included in a parent's application or apply separately with guardian consent. If you're stateless or your child is at risk of statelessness, the process can be expedited. Northern Irish births count fully as the island is treated as one for citizenship purposes under the Good Friday Agreement. Now, the required documents. Preparation is crucial, as incomplete submissions are returned unprocessed, resetting your timeline. All documents must be originals where specified or certified copies, and non-English ones need certified translations. Start with your own full civil birth certificate showing parental details, issued ideally within the last year for freshness. Include your marriage certificate as well. If there's any name changes, that's something you'll need to address as well. For proof of address, submit 2 original documents dated within 6 months, such as utility bills, bank statements, or government letters, not photocopies. If applying for a child, use a school letter or medical record instead. You'll need 4 color passport-sized photographs of yourself taken within the past 6 months on that white background. Get your passport photos. You'll need a certified copy of your photo IDs, like your passport, driver's license, or national ID card, and the witness basically certifies it as a true copy. For the Irish ancestor, if through a parent, provide their FBR certificate, naturalization papers, or postnuptial certificate if applicable, plus their birth and marriage certificates. If through a grandparent, submit the grandparent's original Irish birth certificate from the General Register Office or from the parish potentially as well, especially for older documents. You'll need the marriage certificates again, death certificates if deceased. Also include the linking parents' birth and marriage certificates to prove the chain. For example, your parents' birth certificate shows the grandparent's name on it, right? So you'll need 3 generations of records if you're going through grandparents, or 4 generations of records if going through great-grandparents. If the ancestor has died, please include their death certificate. For guardians applying for children, add proof of guardianship like court orders. In adoption cases, provide the adoption certificate and evidence it complies with Irish law. The application process starts online at the Department of Foreign Affairs website, dfa.ie, under the Citizenship section. So you can create an account there, you can start filling out the forms. It's asking for your ancestral information, your personal history. You can pay the fee online via card. It's going to be around $300 to apply for citizenship as of right now in 2025. And there's no refunds if denied. But overall, one of the few citizenships that you might be able to do everything yourself and don't need a lawyer to assist with. After submitting online, print the form, sign it in black ink, have it witnessed. The witness must be a practicing professional, like a doctor, lawyer, something like that. They can sign the form, apply their stamp or their notary. They can sign 2 photocopies and certify your ID copy. If abroad, consulates can sometimes assist with the witnessing, but check your local Irish embassy. Mail the printed form, all documents and photos to the Foreign Birth Registration section in Dublin or Cork. Addresses are on their website. Use tracked postages as losses happen and as proof that the postage was received. Applications are processed in date order. No expediting except for urgent cases like impending births or statelessness. They do have some helplines and web chats available for those who want to follow up on the case. Processing takes about 9 months from receipt of complete documents. You'll ideally get email updates, but no tracking portal exists as such. If approved, you receive your FBR certificate by mail, which is your proof of citizenship. Then apply for an Irish passport online via passportonline.ie, which takes 10 to 15 working days for simple renewals, but up to 8 weeks for first-timers. It's normal that a first-time passport requires a little bit more due diligence than a renewal, so just something to keep in mind there. If you are refused, you can appeal within 6 weeks by letter to the department explaining the errors. Some common refusal reasons include missing docs, unproven ancestral link, or form errors. To avoid, double-check the chain, ensure the birth certs match names exactly, get fresh certificates if old ones are faded, and confirm the witness qualifications. Some benefits, again, of Irish citizenship. It's worth it. I know it's a lot of steps, but it's well worth it. You get EU rights under the Treaty of the European Union for freedom of movement throughout all of Europe. You get consular protection abroad from any EU embassy. You get health care in Europe, education subsidies, pension portability. For US citizens, Ireland has some tax treaties to avoid double taxation. Families benefit big time, as children born after your registration are automatic citizens if you're registered pre-birth. So some frequently asked questions here. Can I apply if my grandparent was born in Northern Ireland? Yes, fully. What if records are lost? Use parish registers or affidavits as alternatives, but contact the GRO for reissues. You can get people registered or re-registered for the first time. It's quite common for older births 100 plus years ago to not have been registered, especially if they were born, in the countryside. Another question is there a DNA test option? No, it's got to be documentary proof only. Another question, can I live in the UK post-Brexit? Yes, under the common travel area. Irish citizens have indefinite UK rights. That's another one of the things that makes the Irish passport arguably the best passport in the world, is you have the common travel area with the UK and you have EU access as well. Another question is processing delays. Well, we have to blame high demand here. There's tens of thousands of applications yearly. There has been a spike post-Brexit and a bit of a backlog during the COVID period. But at this point now in 2025, it should be stabilized at around 9 months. So in case of any name discrepancies like maiden names versus married names, provide the marriage certificates. You can get what are called one and the same documents as well, which is sort of an affidavit proving that this is the same person. You can provide evidence of the name changes. For divorced parents, both consents may be needed for child's applications. If your parent became Irish post your birth via FBR, you can't claim through them retroactively. They need to have registered before you were born. But, maybe you can submit an application anyway. It's only $300 and roll the dice. This process reconnects millions to their heritage. Over 1 million FBR entries since 1956, mostly from the US, the UK, Australia, and Canada. If eligible, apply soon to beat the 9-month wait, especially for family planning. Visit the government website for more information. Claiming Irish citizenship isn't just paperwork, it's securing a global future tied to your past, well worth it. And if you need some help on this journey, there's a link in the description to book a call with us. MyLatinLife, we're an immigration and offshore consultancy. We can help you with citizenship by descent, as well as residency visas all over Latin America and Europe. See you in the next video.